Oh, hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we are back. Hot off the heels of UFC 301. A card that felt haphazardly put together, was honestly haphazardly put together. Now we're going to be asking the question of, did the card deliver? I'll be going top down through each of the fights, starting with the first fight on the card, which was Alessandro Costa versus Kevin Borjas. A round 2 KO for Alessandro Costa. I knew Borjas would just not be enough for Costa. His volume and power just ended up being way too much. But the main thing were the leg kicks. Oh boy, them leg kicks were spicy. He was absolutely, Costa of course, was absolutely throwing them with venom, and he just kept pelting his leg. Eventually the leg started giving out. The knee helped along with it, and then he ended up getting the finish over Costa. That was pretty solid fight. Got him fight performance bonus, which was very nice. Next fight is going to be Ismael Bonfim versus Vince Pichel. Oh, thank God. Ismael Bonfim fought smart. He did not fight like a dumbass, but ultimately I'm surprised he didn't get out Pichel. Like, Pichel was just 41 years old and still tough as hell. But like, Bonfim was struggling a little bit at the beginning in the first couple rounds, but then Pichel just started like honestly, both people just started putting it on Pichel, and it just really wasn't much of a contest beyond that. It really felt like a beatdown of an old man. I feel like he probably went to the body a little bit more. He did have some good body shots, but Bonfim, if he went to the body a little bit more, probably could have got the finish. But overall, good performance from Bonfim against 41-year-old. Deone Barbosa versus Ernesta Carascate. This was a very mid fight, to be honest with you. A lot of strikes thrown from Ernesto, but not pop on him. We had the submission attempt for Barbosa and the takedowns, but ultimately it was a nothing bugger of a fight, to be perfectly honest with you. Some people might be a little bit no, I'm not even gonna say that. I was about to say, because if you look at the stats specifically, it looks lean towards more Ernesta, but watching it, there just wasn't much to go off from either lady. I gave it to Barbosa, but haphazardly. Oh well, who cares? Let's go on to the next fight. Marcio Ruffi versus Jamie Mullarkey. As I said, Jamie Mullarkey's chin is shite. He is also shite. Marcio Ruffi, and once again, getting a first round knockout over Jamie Mullarkey. Beat the living piss out of him. He got the knockdown and just finished Mullarkey. It was just a matter of time. He just kept getting clipped over and over again, and there was a clear power discrepancy. And yep, Marcio Ruffi got the W. Joaquim Silva loses a decision to Drakkar Klose. Drakkar Klose, like I've been saying, he's been fighting meaner. He's been fighting more madder. He's been putting more pop out of shots. Joaquim Silva did tag him a few times. He did land. Those guys were really swinging down at certain points, but once Drakkar slowed it down, really focused on his grappling, really focused on holding him up against in the clinch, that's when he really started to just sort of take a run with the fight. Joaquim Silva did end up getting a knockdown, but ultimately the significant strikes and damage just favored Drakkar Klose. Very close fight, but I gave it to Klose. I do think he could have probably pressured a little bit more and possibly got the knockout, but oh well. Oda Boy versus Elvis Brenner. I could have got a better picture, but this picture just looks too funny. It looks so silly. Brenner looks like a dumbass in this picture. But yep, overall, Oda Boy, I just felt had more power. He was just a much more stronger, much more powerful guy. His takedowns, he went 5 out of 17. Not very good. Elvis Brenner was taking him down. We really thought that, well, a lot of people thought that the wrestling was going to be the main thing, but ultimately it was just the power advantage. I did pick Brenner as a dog, and he did show some dog toughness, but ultimately Oda Boy just proved to be the better fighter. Did have some very low fight IQ moments, to be honest with you, and it wasn't as great a performance as a lot of people anticipated, especially for being a minus 300 favorite, but ultimately it was a win. A clean win for Oda Boy. Carolina Kolonkechek versus Ismael Lucindo. This fight was a fight. It was indeed a fight with some takedowns and some low volume. Not much of note, to be honest with you. Very high striking accuracy for Ismael Lucindo, but ultimately, Ismael Lucindo gets the decision victory. Jack Shore versus Joanderson Brito. Joanderson Brito gets the doctor stoppage in round 2 because he's kicked him and just created a massive gash in Shore's leg, and the doctor decides, for whatever God knows, whatever God reason, what went through his mind, he decides, I'm gonna finger it. I'm gonna stick my whole finger in there. Like, that cut was bad, but why are you fingering it? What like, the doctor's sitting there going there, sticking his finger out of the cut, going, I miss my wife. Just sitting there going, it's been years since I've touched her. Everything reminds me of her, as he just keeps fingering the cut. Why was he doing that? I don't get. Whatever the case is, Joanderson Brito proved to be the better striker in the overall exchanges. They were both landing, but Brito was landing more. I really liked his leg kicks. And yeah, I do think we could have gotten more from the fight, to be honest with you. But that cut was bad enough to stop it, I guess. He still seemed like he was moving and everything, which was funny. But then again, the doctor shoved his whole finger up there. He's about to stick the fist up there for all we know. So, oh well. Brito gets the round 2 TKO. Gallo Barrayo knocked out Paul Craig in the second round. Paul Craig, once again, has proven he has not worked on his striking. Like, he's such a good grappler, but he's got no striking. His striking's bad. And Boyado, who's not even really, like, a really prolific finisher, he's just able to put it on him. Once he just learned, oh, this guy can't box. This guy can't box at all. He just started putting it on him. Just Paul Craig would throw punches with his chin wide up in the air, basically putting a target on there. And Boyado finally landed a combo and just knocked him out cold. That was just such a brutal combo. And just the way Paul Craig just fell over dead. But yeah, Gallo Barrayo gets a round 2 KO. Michel Pereira. I love watching this guy fight. I really do. What are you doing? I was saying, yeah, he's fighting more technical, more smarter. He's not really doing the goofy, stupid stuff. He almost gets DQ'd for doing a backflip, a cartwheel backflip, and his knee just connecting straight with your Porteria's chin. Once again, Michel Pereira being such a brutal force at middleweight. That's 3 first-round finishes at middleweight. I'm happy this time. The last few times, I'm like, no, Michel Pereira, he goes the distance. I said this fight, nope, I'm not going to do that. This time, I'm going to take the first round, and I was freaking right. I have him by knockout, which he probably could have gotten, but nope, submission. I gotta say, just again, Michel Pereira is just a force. He just hits so freaking hard. And Hijo de Porteria, he was fighting at like heavyweight. I thought he was bigger than Pereira. Pereira is normally the bigger guy, but I thought Hijo de Porteria was bigger. And Michel Pereira just mogged him. Just like every shot he landed with such force, knocked him down, did the stupid backflip. I love this stupid backflip. And then got the submission. Like, he's so good. He's really good at middleweight. I'm curious, could he go on a run? I honestly want to see him fighting some of the top guys at middleweight. Have him stay clear of Vettori and Whitaker, please. But I don't know, him versus Strickland, Costa, Izzy, DDP, those seem like fun matchups. But yes, round 1 submission for Michel Pereira. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna have a Dumbass of the Night award. I'm gonna start doing it because we need to. We have to. Like, every week we keep getting a Dumbass of the Week. Not last week, UFC 300, Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner was the Dumbass of that week. And this week, it's Vitor Petrino. Vitor Petrino was landing good shots, was showing the power discrepancy. He just showed overall, like, hey, I can beat Anthony Smith. He could have just kept landing shots and decided to go for a takedown. Not only just a takedown, a very sloppy one where he got caught in a guillotine. And now Anthony Smith, the best fighter, the champion on paper, got the submission win in the first round. That's just sad. Losing to Anthony Smith in 2024 is very sad, Vitor Petrino. And now we know Anthony Smith is going to be campaigning for a title shot. Whatever the case is, Vitor Fortuno, you are the dumbass tonight. Anthony Smith gets a great submission win in the first round. Wow. Wow. The king of freaking Rio, Jose Aldo, put on a striking clinic against Jonathan Martinez. I was really worried. I was very worried. I was haphazard to pick Jose Aldo, and I'm just happy he got that W. I love watching this man work. I do wish he got the finish, which he absolutely could have did if he didn't go for a takedown. I don't know why he went for the takedown. Someone else goes for two fighters go for takedown. 3 fighters in total go for takedowns on his card, which he really shouldn't have. But Jose Aldo is the only one that didn't cost him the fight. Jose Aldo was landing much more better shots. He was checking the kicks. He was landing good kicks of his own, and he was just landing pure boxing combinations. It was just an absolute clinic by Jose Aldo. His speed is still there. His power has dissipated since going to bantamweight. I've been saying that. He's not really getting as much finishes as he used to back in the day. But whatever the case is, clean W. And he hurt Martinez. He rocked him bad at the end of the fight. But yes, the king of Rio gets the W. I know that was the last fight on his contract, but boy, I would love to see him make a run for the belt. And honestly, fast track him. Maybe don't even give him one more fight. Maybe just give him a title shot, man. I don't know, dude. I love watching Jose Aldo, and him versus O'Malley would be such a fun fight. It'd be such a fun fight. But yes, Jose Aldo gets the decision win in Rio de Janeiro. Ungrateful fans, by the way. And then the main event of the evening, Alessandro Pantoja takes on Steve Erceg. And Steve Erceg did better than a lot of people thought. He did pretty well, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was pretty disappointed with Pantoja's performance. He fought like how I thought he would to lesser extent, mainly with his takedowns. Basically, once Erceg was getting the better of him in striking exchanges, which he absolutely was, he mixed in the takedowns and got the grappling advantage. I do like Steve Erceg on the ground, though. He avoided those submissions. He even got reversals. He was constantly active off his back. His problem was shooting a takedown in the 5th round. That really screwed him over, to be honest with you, because that was an easy reversal for Pantoja. I'm going to be honest with you as well, too. I think it was a close fight, and it could have went either way, but I think a 49-46 scorecard is absolutely fixed, and I personally think Erceg won it. I'm disappointed that Erceg didn't get the nod, but I knew. Going to decision in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil against a Brazilian champion. Is it the... There's only him and Alex, right? Yeah, I knew from the start that Steve Erceg was going to get probably, I don't want to say robbed, but the decision is going to Pantoja. The real thing is, if you look at it, Pantoja did land more strikes. He did, and he landed more significant strikes, but just, I feel like Erceg still hit harder. I'm sorry, I just feel like the strikes hit harder, but it's really the ground control time that really swayed it in the judges' eyes, and that takedown, and ending the fight basically on the bottom for most of the fight. Just screwed over Erceg, but that was still a great showing. That was a really solid fight, to be honest with you as well. I don't think it won fight of the night, which is surprising. I thoughtfully thought that won fight of the night, but man, I gotta say, Steve Erceg, his boxing was very crispy. Give this man a few years, or not even just a few years, just give him another year. He probably could have beaten Pantoja, to be perfectly honest with you. Pantoja is, everyone's saying, oh, he's unbeatable. He looked very beatable this fight, but then again, Pantoja is improving from this fight. So, I don't know. I could personally see Pantoja hold the belt for quite some time, to be perfectly honest with you. But yes. Well, once again, this has been your boy, Gomi. Please let me know what you thought of UFC 301 in the comment sections below. Overall, what did I think of UFC 301? Was this card trash? I always ask that question. A lot of people get mad thinking I actually think it's trash. I very rarely think these cards are ever trash. I thought it was actually a decent card. I know if I give it a rating, maybe like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. Wasn't bad. Would I have paid $70 for it? No, and spoiler alert, I didn't. But yeah. So, once again, it's been your boy Gomi. Bye-bye.